Black Friday took on new meaning for protesters around the country who are angry about the grand jury's decision not to indict Officer Darren Wilson and the shooting death of unarmed teen Michael Brown in Ferguson, Missouri. They held demonstrations trying to disrupt holiday shopping. Those protests took place all across the country, including here in Nashville. The same group that led protesters on the interstate Tuesday evening walked into Walmart tonight. New at 10, video from their march. News Channel 5's Chris Cannon was there. And Chris, this protest was much smaller in scale.
Shannon, it was a small group, but they made sure their voices were heard on this one of the busiest shopping days of the year.
The only way things change is when people speak up.
1, 2, 3, Black Lives Matter!
And with that, a small group of people protesting the Ferguson decision marched into the West Nashville Walmart.
And although there were a few people here tonight, they're also in solidarity with everybody all over the place. Whether they're protesting in Ferguson, whether they're protesting in St. Louis, whether they're protesting in London.
We are Mike Brown!
Inside the store, the group of 12 people walked the aisles chanting, "We are Mike Brown." When they made it to the front of the store, they laid down on the floor, blocking customers trying to make a point. They stayed here for 4.5 minutes, not saying anything. When the protesters stood up again, they rallied in front of the registers, but not stopping any shopping.
I think it's more of a goal of awareness, and I think everybody comes to a protest like this for a particular reason.
The protesters then left the store, and when they got outside, Metro Police were waiting, nearly as many officers as protesters. They knelt on the pavement and chanted while officers kept an eye on the situation. They did go back inside the store one more time, and as you can see, they left quietly, with Metro Police officers walking behind them. Protest was peaceful, one of many on this Black Friday.
There's no accident that many people all over the world are saying the same thing. That means that something's wrong, something's broken.
And there was a lot of talk on social media tonight wondering why those protesters weren't arrested, considering that Walmart managers actually called the police. Well, the explanation is pretty simple. While those protesters were in the store marching and chanting, those managers never officially asked them to leave the property. So Metro Police would have had a hard time arresting them because they weren't officially trespassing. Now, towards the end of the protest, those managers did ask them to leave, and the protesters did just that. Shannon.
All right, thanks so much, Chris. Well, that group, Brown Justice Chasers, organized tonight's protest and publicized it on social media earlier tonight.